home, guys. Dude, how long I've been gone, dude? Look at that. This was not here. This was significantly shorter. Like, I could go on that bridge right there and look over and see, across it. Now it's like that. It's like, what the fuck? I've been gone that long? Crazy, man. I will say I miss it. I miss this walk. It's been a good vacation, but I miss just walking down there. And dude, I don't know what it is, but no one walks this dog unless it's like I'm the only one that walks Jake, dude. So you could tell he's loving this too. Look at this shit. He's just living, taking a shit. Sorry, I don't want to show you. You probably don't want to see that. But it's a pretty evening. Beautiful night. Woo! Yes, beautiful night, beautiful life. I hope your guys' day has been good. It's just hot, bro. I'm trying to vlog during the day. I want to take like a 5-mile walk with some music and go somewhere where I can vlog, but it's just so fucking hot right now. Where I live in California, it's literally, today was 95 in the morning at fucking 10 a.m. It's already 95 degrees. The highest I got to was 100 and like 2. I think even 105 at one point, not gonna lie. So it's hot, right? So it's hard to make videos during the day right now because it's fucking hot. So I gotta wait until it's nighttime. Like right now. So now it's finally cool. It's like 81 degrees. Feels beautiful. But that's besides the point, that's not the video. This video is subconscious, man. It's about your subconscious and just how it runs your life. If not 98% of it. You know what I mean? And a lot of us are unaware of that factor. It's like we think that we are. It's kind of like you manifest what you want sometimes, but mainly it's not even what you manifest. You're not always manifesting what you want. You're manifesting what you subconsciously believe, what's subconsciously running in the background. And if we're unaware of these subconscious patterns, we're going to keep manifesting these things that we don't even want. It's like you can consciously choose what you want, but underneath those choices are years of habits and emotional patterns that either serve you or don't serve you. Like, imagine discovering that your mind has been running background programs your entire life. Programs you didn't even consciously choose. They were just handed over you. Sorry, my nose is itchy. They were handed to you from your parents and from their parents. It's a cycle, but you break the cycle when you wake up. It could have came from your childhood. Some came from experiences, relationships. Some can come from culture. Some simply develop through repetition of doing to the point where it just becomes a part of your identity, right? And eventually, because of that, you stop noticing those patterns because they became a part of you. They became automatic, and now it's on autopilot. This is the subconscious mind. Think about like how when you learn to drive, at first everything was requiring attention. Mirrors, pedals, brakes, traffic, and eventually though, it just becomes automatic, like autopilot. That's some useful information because like your brain doesn't want to consciously relearn everything every fucking morning. But automatic patterns are limited to physical skills. We develop emotional patterns too. Maybe criticism immediately makes you defensive. Maybe uncertainty automatically creates fear. Maybe constantly comparing yourself to other people makes opportunities disappear because you're not able to fucking perceive of it. You know what I mean? Because you're focusing on other people, like shit that don't matter. And like your first thought could be, I'm not capable of it because of all this comparing, But where did that thought even come from? That's where awareness becomes interesting because sometimes what feels like your personality is actually a pattern you've practiced for years that you've made an identity out of. You know what I mean? The ego says, this is just who I am. Awareness actually asks, what did I learn to respond in this way, to believe that this is true about myself? And then that question creates space, and inside space, choice appears. This is also where manifestation conversations become more interesting, because some might consciously say, I want abundance, but underneath that, they may repeatedly think that it's never enough. I'll always lose. Nothing works for me. Their conscious intention and their habit expectations are pulling in different directions. Not because the universe is punishing them, but because beliefs influence perception, and perception influences decisions. That's why repeating an affirmation once isn't necessarily enough. So it's like you're competing against patterns that may have been rehearsed thousands of times unconsciously. So the real change requires repetition and attention, awareness, new experiences, new behaviors, new identities, new actions, right? Behaviors. Sometimes emotional healing, you're teaching your nervous system, nervous, like new ways of being. You're teaching your mind even something different. And then slowly, what once required conscious effort becomes more automatic. It's natural. The new behavior becomes familiar. The new belief becomes easier to access. The new identity becomes natural. That's reprogramming. Not magically deleting your past, but creating new patterns that no longer require the old one to control you. You know what I mean? And this is one of the deepest powers of consciousness, because you're becoming aware of what does and what doesn't serve you, and you can allow for new changes. You don't gotta let it be in your reality anymore. You can become aware of your own programming. Like a computer can't normally question its code, but you can. You can catch the thought, you can observe the reaction, you can interpret the pattern, you could choose again. And every time you choose differently, you're teaching your mind something new. You gotta understand that. It doesn't have to be the same shit over and over and over again. You just gotta choose differently. So maybe awakening isn't about realizing that your consciousness is beyond the ego. I mean, sure, that's one of it. But maybe it's consciousness finally becoming aware of the programming the ego has been running from. Or even actually becoming aware of the programming that the ego has been running on. Because the moment that unconsciousness becomes conscious, you're not running the same program anymore that doesn't serve. You're looking at the code and you can choose differently. All you had to do was become aware of the programming. So for me, I used to believe that I wasn't worthy for love. I thought I was ugly, not attractive, I'm not good enough. When I was this whole time. But I was so focused on that false perception of myself and of reality and belief that I was literally not able to perceive of the opportunities that were presented to me. Like, there were girls that thought I was attractive, I didn't even know, because I couldn't perceive of it, because I was only focused on the vibration and frequency of believing that I wasn't attractive or good enough. So your belief creates your reality. It's part of it, your perception. So if you perceive something to be so hard, it's going to be exactly that. If you perceive it to be easy, it will be easy. Just like, it's that saying, someone who says they can and can't are right. It's true, it's what you believe. But when you become of these unconscious beliefs that are running on the background, the programming, you could choose that, hey, this isn't me. I thought it was me. Like, for a long time, I thought I was stuck. I thought I was unattractive and untalented. I was attaching to myself, to that identity, to that belief of who I thought I was. But through breathing, through becoming connected to my higher self and my subconscious mind, and through realizing that we're infinite, we're not the body, we're not solid, we're energy inhabiting a temporary physical form, I was able to say, all right, so it wasn't my identity. I wasn't that loop, that cycle, the thought loops. I just was clinging to it, emphasizing on it. So you killed that ego, that version of you that you think that you've been this whole time, and then you breathe and you allow the higher you to flow through. The kundalinis, right? The flow flows. The chakra's chakra when you allow for conscious breathing through meditation or through exercise. Or doing things that you love that allow you to be present enough to be so much in the flow to the point where you're not even thinking, you're just doing. That's you accessing a higher state of consciousness. That's you accessing your higher self. a higher version of you. So your job is to become aware of these patterns that don't serve you, that are only holding you back and keeping you from manifesting new things and keeping you experiencing the same bullshit over and over again, the same reality. Become aware. Allow it to come to the surface. Because the more present you are in the moment, the more you'll allow for things to surface. You know, maybe even repressed emotions and thoughts that you've been repressing. You know, some things that were traumatic when you were a kid or whatever. But when you allow for it to be purged out of you, your energetic field, you allow for space for the new to come in. New at higher frequencies, more peaceful, more aligned emotions and thoughts that'll actually resonate with this new you. Because you're not who you were a year ago. You're not even who you were 5 days ago. It's just that we attached certain emotions and frequencies and patterns, and we keep replaying it in every single moment, manifesting it over and over again in every single moment. But every single moment's a new moment. In every single moment, you're a new version of you. But you just gotta breathe. You're not a static being. You are not solid. You appear to be solid, but you're not. And you're literally moving through different versions of the now every moment. As you, whatever, you could fucking choose to walk the dog, or you could not. You created your reality, you know? There's a version of me right now that's not walking my dog, and I'm not making the video right now. Maybe I decided to actually make it at night, because I was initially going to make my video at night. Not right now. So it's so in front of your face that it's funny. Like, you create your reality. So the more you realize that and become aware of every thought and action that you're doing is literally you creating a reality, and everything's connected, then you're going to be very cautious over what you're believing of yourself and of reality. And you're going to be very cautious over what you're doing. But also don't be so overly cautious, and aware of the things that you don't want to manifest. Focus on what you do want to manifest and what you want to see. Because a lot of times we're so fucking scared of manifesting something that we don't want to see, so we'll constantly think of it, and through that constant thinking of it, it ends up being manifested in our physical, because everything's connected. So become aware of the thoughts that you're thinking, change it, and focus on that, because where awareness goes, energy flows. So bring your awareness to the love, to the light, into what you want to see more of, and you'll see more of it, because that's what you're focusing on. Just like how people who watch the news are focused on separation and focused on being scared. That's what they're experiencing. They're experiencing separation. They're experiencing fear. And so they stay stuck doing the same shit over and over again because they're comfortable, because they're scared to do new, because they don't want to die, you know? You get it, guys. You fucking get it. I love you. Namaste, lady, as a motherfucking titty. I'm always gonna say that, bro. It's like my favorite saying. It sounds funny. But yeah, enjoy life. Enjoy little things. Sunsets, walking your pets, riding your bike. Speaking of which, I gotta do that in a bit. Just get out there and see life, man. It's waiting for you. Until tomorrow, the next video. Peace.